our baby father's on road or road adjacent. Where he didn't find you with your A-star student self in church in a one room. You was a road or road adjacent as well. I don't understand. I always say, Akala. Big up Akala, of course. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Akala always leads with the fact that I went to a Pan-African Saturday school. Wow. I sat at the feet of elders. So if you're so Akala, every Saturday school in London should have a waiting list.
That's what I say, it should be ram. Yeah.
But they're not.
Yeah.
When with the youth club thing, of course, we know Babylon have their agenda. Because if we're closing up the youth club, but the phone and the console them turn up, nothing is by accident, people. Culture is the solution, is that everything that comes out of us is our culture when it's there as a solution, as something that we're providing to solve a problem. These are the solutions. Our elders said we need our own schools, so they created supplementary schools.
Greetings and salutations. I'm your host, Alicia Mullings, and this is the Sense Only podcast. This podcast is for those who are tired of the noise, distraction, and disconnection in the world, and for those that know that we need to be the change that we want to see. Today, I have an amazing, wonderful guest who is actually just bringing me so much joy. She's doing amazing things in the world, making huge changes and a huge difference to not only herself but also the community. And I would love to introduce you to the wonderful Nehanda. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please tell us about all just the wonderful things that you do.
So, my name is Nehanda Sankofa, and I am the founder of Sankofa Rising. Sankofa Rising was born out of African womanhood.
Okay.
What does it mean to be a black woman in this time? Mm-hmm. In the times that we're living in this current time, what does African womanhood look like? And I was in an organization at that time. I was in a Pan-African organization at that time. But I was going through a lot of trials and tribulations. And I was turning 30. And I started to realize I went through a little transition when I went through my 20s. And then being blessed to be around different generations. You speak to women in their 40s. I'm there now. But speaking to women in their 40s, like, yeah, transition time then. And you speak to women in their 50s, like, oh yeah, transition time then. So I was like, oh, so we'd be having transitions just throughout life. Mm-hmm. Nice. But I realized, well, where's the support system for that? Mm-hmm. And then the more you learn about culture, like I said, I was in a Pan-African organization, but it was a spiritualist Pan-African organization, but you learn about African culture standardly, you realize that sister circles, different types of circles and systems are in our culture to maintain us and help us develop and be in the process of being. And your culture supports that beingness. Does that make sense?
It does.
So the sister circles culturally, historically, are there to reinforce your womanhood and support you in your womanhood journey. So obviously we're living in a time of feminism or whatever. So people will be like, oh, we shouldn't be teaching to cook and clean. It's more than that.
Right.
Do you get what I mean? Yeah. As a woman,
okay,
there's many elements to cook and clean is important. Mm-hmm. But I mean, sister circle is also about how you are showing up as a woman in the different facets of your life as a woman. Okay. Whether it's your family, whether it's about preparing to be a mother, mm-hmm. or to be in partnership with sisterhoods, your actual sisterhoods, family. Do you understand? Right. And then how we're showing up in the community. Right. And I think, like I said, there was many different systems we had pre-enslavement that we've lost. Right. So through study, I realized, okay, what could I bring together? Sister circles. And knowing that sister circles have been going on within the community in the 80s, 90s. So it was a thing of, can I do it? Is anyone going to listen to me? Or anyone want to sit around talking about themselves? But again, through support and encouragement, bigger sister to me, Sister Ivory from Ank Wellbeing, she said, no, we're going to start it. you're going to do it. And Sankofa Rising was born. We started to have a mother circle to support the children that was in the sister circle, the girls, right?
Yeah.
So that built on the parenting program that has now been born.
Okay.
And then the girls program, that's why I said, let me package that.
Right.
And because people say, oh, why are you doing this with the girls? And, you know, your daughter's this and the girls are that. And I'm like, this is a community, these are community children. This is not what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm not meant to be doing this work by myself, firstly. Right. But also, I packaged the program in a way that I'm essentially consulting, because I want parents to be empowered to support their girl children and create their own ecosystem around what's beneficial for their children. Right. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So a lot of the time when I was promoting, when I relaunched Sankofa Rising in 2024, and I was talking about the different programs that I want to do, people was like, oh, are you going to put on a girls program so I can drop off my daughter? And I'm like, I could, but that's not the aim and objective here.
That's like a babysitting service.
Do you understand?
This is not what we're offering here, folks.
And let's just say, for argument's sake, even if there was, when I was rolling out the workshops, the taster sessions, I said, because they were saying, oh, can I bring my daughter? I was like, no, the taster session is for you.
Right.
The taster session is for you to understand what it is I'm delivering.
Right.
And to understand your commitment to the process.
Yes.
Because it's not about the child's commitment to the process, it's your commitment to the process.
For those who are not familiar with just the actual idea and the concept of a sister circle, are you able to just, would you mind breaking that down, please, in terms of what would a sister circle look like?
So my sister circles, I always start off with bringing in the ancestors. So I asked all the sisters to maybe bring in one or two ancestors of their female ancestors of their personal lineage, and if not, an ancestor that they admire, so that energy can bless the space. We also speak to the purpose of why we are gathered in regards to what we are trying to achieve as African women, in terms of that journey of self, and we reflect. So I will always ask for reflections. Always ask for opening and closing reflections, because how you start the session is not necessarily how you're going to end it.
Right.
And also that beginning reflection, if it's the first ever session, then those beginning reflections are what our expectations are of the space, what our understanding is of sisterhood, what our current sisterhoods may look like, or what our sisterhoods may have looked like when they're early sessions. But once we're in the swing of it and we're developing relationship as sisters come in with whatever's going on for them. Right. So at the moment, our sessions are fortnightly. I've got one tomorrow, actually. Sisters will come in and express how their last 2 weeks have been.
Okay.
And I always say, I might set an agenda. I might say, okay, this week we're going to talk about, but it depends on whatever the sisters come in with. So if a sister is reflecting on something that's heavy for her this week, or the last couple of weeks, or something she's battling with, or anything, that other sisters there might jump in and that might become the session.
In terms of I'm just going to throw something.
Yeah.
You know, women may not have a positive experience with fellow women. For those who are a bit more adverse to being in the company of other females because they may have had bad experience in the past, whether it's from their mum, their granny, school, whomever, so they may be reluctant to come to a sister circle. What would you say to those in terms of showing that would be a benefit for them?
That is a good question. And I've had sisters who have come and they have had challenging experiences with other women. You know, the space is, 90% of the time, 99% of the time, the women in that space are very warm and welcoming. it's just a case of being open in that sense, because I cannot, what's the word? Wash away your past experiences, and I don't know what I don't know them.
Right.
However, here is a space of accountability, sincerity, and a genuine commitment to wanting better for ourselves as women.
Right.
So the women that attend any sister circle I'm facilitating, their aim and objectives is their self-care. So there's a sister that attends and she says, this is part of my self-care.
Right.
Being here. Does that make sense? So there's no agenda. There's no, we talk about with women, is it competition or she's judging me? Judgment is a interesting word for me in particular. But I'm saying that when I say judgment, I mean in a sense of, because I agree, I think we need to have standards. I'm not a standardless person, if that makes sense. But this concept of judgment of, as a sister, she's just watching me and just judging everything. This is not what this space is about. I am 46 good years of age. I'm too old for that kind of behavior. Right. So it's a case of all of the women that show up in that space, and we got women that are in their early 30s to women that are big women. They're there to sincerely develop sisterhood.
Right.
So a sister who's gone through those negative experiences, the most I can say to her is be open.
Okay.
Be open to the healing process.
I hear that.
Do you get what I mean? The same way we're going to say, not all men are the same. You've gone through bad experience with men, but you want to have a good relationship with a man. You be open, but be open. But why I have to emphasize on accountability is because whatever experiences has happened, if they continue to happen and these experiences continue to show up for you, there has to be some self-reflection. Some
level of acknowledgement.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And it's not a case of, because I've heard some sisters say, yeah, but you haven't heard this story, and it might sound like every person they encounter has done horrendous things to them.
Right.
But there's still a lesson there for you in terms of your discernment, how you are processing information, how are you understanding character.
Yes.
I think that's the word I've left out for the most part in a lot of things I said, to be honest. But because all of those things, it still reflects back to you. Why are you consistently putting yourself in places with people of that character that's going to continuously treat you in a certain way until there's a theme now, till you can see a consistent theme with a particular set of people that keep treating you in a particular type of way? You are the only common denominator in that.
100%.
So, yeah.
That's great. I could definitely see the value in that. And correct me if I'm wrong, does the sister circle also provide some level of guidance, is what I'm reading from the different things that you've got set up? And I say that in the lens of, not saying the world's getting real wild right now, but the world's getting real wild right now. Especially for an example, attire. Well, it doesn't upset some people now, but because we're in a similar generation, we know back in the day, the people who's going to pull you up on your life, first of all, is going to be your grandmother. And if you're blessed to have two, one of the two, if not both, and then your mum or whoever, or caregiver, may come after, extended to community. And as much as some people may not subscribe to a specific religion, but the family may, the people who are in the religious community as well, as whether if it's the church or the mosque or whoever, the people of the community, basically. So therefore, before you step out of your house, there's a certain level of standards you need to look like before you step out of your house. We've seen that's been lost because people are stepping outside looking real crazy, wild these days. That's just my opinion, which means nothing. Hey, here's what it is. Some people are going to understand what I'm saying. Some are going to get offended. So, that being said, because we know certain attire, certain problems will come after that. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. But I say that to say, to reel it back. Would a sister circle, because as you said, there's different people, other females around you, have a similar vibration, similar mindset, I'm guessing, reel somebody back in if they see that you're stepping out, what's the word I'm looking for? Just not safe for yourself.
I think, so in relation to, so the sister circles have started back properly again in June. So these sisters are still getting to know each other, if that makes sense. But like I'm saying, there is a similar ilk in terms of we're all on the journey of self, and returning to the center of self in terms of that African-centeredness. So I think we would be able to gracefully, diplomatically support a sister if we saw her, you know?
And it's not just attire, I was just using that as an example.
Yeah.
It could be in whatever thing. It's just the case of traditionally when we had families.
To help us to stand, to keep to hold us to account.
Yes, and a certain standard, shall we say.
certain standard.
Because even if we go away from garments and clothing, it could be the individual. You deciding you're bringing home to say, Mum, Dad, this is my partner, i.e. this person is who I'm intending to join our family. Back in the day, I remember my male cousin, he brought one of his girlfriends home. My nan was not for it. My nan told him straight, she don't like her, she don't like her spirit, and let him know. Lo and behold, months later, he found out the girl was actually a mess. So Nan read something, she told him. He was able to, I guess, have extra eyes in terms of what Nan has picked out. And the girl revealed herself anyway, but it was a case of, even when she revealed herself, it wasn't new information, because I'm like, oh, Nan said that how many months ago, type of thing. So just these things, so and the list goes on. I'm saying that's kind of lost now, because people are bringing all sorts of whoever into their families, and then all sorts of problems, and then etc. So
two things, well, not two things, but yes, two things. When I'm breaking down the things that Sankofa Rising does, so we got the Sister Circle, the girls program was born out of what I was doing with my daughter and her peers. The mothers program, and the pastoral care support and all of these other things I was doing, supporting parents, what brought into being the parenting program that I do as well. However, why I say it all comes under Sankofa Rising is because Sankofa also means to go back and fetch from Ghana, the Akan language in Ghana, go back and fetch to bring forward. We are in the process of Sankofa, so when we're seeing people, a new rebirth of cultural pride and people wanting to understand Africa and their cultural lineage and where they come from and all. This is the process of Sankofa, you understand? And then how we learning about ourselves and how we're being able to use some of these things in present day. This is the process of Sankofa. When we're talking about, I'm second generation to here. I always say I'm the Lovers Rock generation. Right. You had the roots in reggae and then you had the Lovers Rock. Lovers Rock, why I say that is more often than not, people can instantly visualize what those people look like in that time. And if you think about it, they were teenagers.
Right.
Those were my parents.
Yeah.
And right. For a lot of us, that was our parents.
Them lot.
And them lot. So, yeah, so that's a conversation in and of itself,
it really
Rasta.
It really is.
And I am saying, but that's the point. That my journey of being parented by my grandparent and my Lovers Rock parents, set me on the course of the work I do today.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I see that.
And I understood My grandma, my family's from Dominica.
Okay.
You can't tell them nothing about nothing else outside of Dominica, do you hear me?
Okay.
So when I come now with all my Africa this, like, I'm gonna know what you talk about. I'm Dominican.
Right.
And I'm coming with my Jamaican. I can't speak the Dominica Francais patois.
Okay.
But, so just say that in patois. I don't know what you're talking about with your Africa, whatever. But I say that to say, innately, why once I was on my journey of self and I found Pan-Africanism, it resonated with me quickly because I was raised in a particular African way.
Right.
But my nan is just innate. She's just doing it. But it's these practices, these behaviors is from Africa. But she's just seen it as this is just back home.
Right.
I say all that to say the things that you're talking about is missing is culture.
100%.
We are living in someone else's culture
And environment.
and every single thing that we do, even when we're saying, "Oh, I know my black stuff," if we think about the brain and every little electron, whatever, has been manipulated
Yes.
and abused and traumatized and programmed to bash out of you all that is you and to install a whole new, do you understand? And it's a consistent, we always like, oh, but enslavement was long time, oh, but the 60s was then, but 2026, look where we stood there. Do you understand? So that, white supremacy ain't taking their foot off our neck for 30 seconds. Do you understand? So we don't understand, we're living in someone else's culture.
Right.
All the things you're talking about, this is culture.
Yes.
In our culture, yes, you have to bring someone home. Hello, not just what kind of nonsense is this? And now we talk about things like, we can't cheese, they want children, want lamb, let them lamb who they want, so I can bring home any old Tom the Canary. I can mash up your whole family. We don't know who they want bring, and it's not a case of, again, I rise up Malcolm X. No one can't tell me nothing about my Malcolm X, do you hear me? And I say that to say, and I rise up a Tupac Shakur in the same breath. Do you understand? I say that to say, if my daughter brings home Malcolm X, why I say Malcolm X specifically or a Tupac, because of their histories.
Yeah.
Some of us are later after he's been jailed. What did they go jail for?
Right.
Like, let's have a context conversation.
100%.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because a whole heap of man, they've never seen a. I'm not advocating these things, but the point I'm making is, let us have discernment.
Right.
Let us have critical thinking.
Yes.
Let us be balanced in our reasoning.
Right.
Yes. And I'm saying that to say some of us can be snobby for what purpose here?
They don't even know the snubby for themselves. They have no idea, because as you said, if you question them, they draw blank. Don't know why. Because you'll get a because what? But just because.
So context is everything, and we have to be holistic in our thinking.
Yeah.
But yes, there's cultural ways of doing things. The same way. And again, we're gonna say, "Oh, we're black people, we're not a monolith." We say such simple things. I just remembered I'm being recorded now.
Listen, you got personality and character. This is not dry.
You see what I'm saying? Well, I can't be on the screen.
This is not boring.
But I say that to say, of course we know we're not a monolith. We know we're not a monolith. We are a people that know we're not a monolith. That's why we could talk about Timbuktu and Mona Matapa and the Malik.
Yeah.
But again, we've been conditioned to think, to see ourselves as a collective is negative. To see ourselves in a oneness is backwards. No. I'm not from where you're from, but we both know we must respect our elders.
100%. Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah. Standard.
Somebody in the middle of Congo, in Soweto, and in Togo, and in Ethiopia, and in America, in England, we're all going to come into the same room and say, was you raised to respect your elders? We're going to say, yeah. Was we all... This is a cultural value. This is a part of the African personality.
Absolutely. Yeah, I hear you totally. And you know what? There's certain things that have been lost along the water that I, like, for example, because we was obviously talking before we was on the camera, and I mentioned when I've been to Ghana, but prior to that, I've actually been to Angola. And
Nice.
when I went to Angola, I could do a whole episode on Angola. Angola is it's deep in my heart.
Nice.
I love Angola. And one of the things that I experienced when there, and you know what, I was about to say it, and I'm not going to butcher my Portuguese. I'll stop myself.
This country, boy,
I don't
really
need
mash
no
up your tongue,
I don't
boy.
need no one coming for me. So they have their version of, when the couple are engaged and when they come together and they do the ceremony. I really want to say it, but
Just
I'm not
say it,
doing
just say it.
Don't come for me. my Angolans. Is it a PD do?
You're in the
I put my hand
ballpark.
up.
You're in the ballpark. That's
Please
the main
correct
thing.
me. So anyway, I celebrated and I went there, and I guess it's in different African cultures across the continent as well. And I think in other like Asians and wherever. But anyway, the ceremony of, when the two families come together.
Like the engagement kind of. Yeah.
And I personally had never been to anything like that before, so it really moved me. And after I just went away and really had to meditate on it, I was like, I see so much value in that. Because it really is a case, and the part that I loved the most was that the couple got sent, go about your business, got sent away. The families are going to talk, and it literally was the families are now presenting the good works that they've done to now present their family member to the other family. I really love the accountability of it, because it's a case of if anybody wants to pull some cheating and whatever, you're not only being disrespectful to your new spouse or whatever, you're now disrespecting your whole family, who's now sold your greatness to the other family, as well as the other family as well, in terms of you sold us that this person was, righteous and clear and coming correct, and now we're hearing that this person's disrespecting our son or our daughter. What is this? I love that, because as we see, when you take on a partner, you're not just taking on the person, you are now, it's families integrating, and a lot of people are missing that, especially because I'm going to land, because we're here in this other culture, in this other environment. Because I had one individual trying to approach me on no, it's just going to be me and you, because he had a trailer load of children. I was like, brother, that's not for me. I was like, I do not want to be a stepmom to all your trailer load, thank you. And he's like, no, just be me and you. Brother, no. Not at all, because
that's in and of itself is a red flag.
Isolation.
Yeah. You got all the children tell me it's me and you. Are you all right? So you're not man your picnic then.
I had to educate this individual on his like double figures.
Lord have mercy.
When it's one of them was, I actually had to go reassess my life. I was like, hold on, why did this person even feel that they could even try and approach me? What's my frequency right now? I had to check my own resonance. I don't think it gets him. I had to check myself.
What am I really dealing with? What am I attracting?
Literally.
What is on my forehead?
Story for other days. Okay. So, my point. But yeah.
But just you talking about like traditional engagement and stuff.
Yeah, the traditions.
And the importance of it. And this is the part of the Sankofa, because I'm seeing a lot of those things, and why I say we have to be able to see the nuance, because we are coming from a time now, people don't have family units in that way, but different cultures are coming together. So like, I don't know, people from Jamaica and Ghana getting married, and it's a cultural awakening for the person who might come from Jamaica then, let's say, because now they're doing something that's not supposedly their culture, but it's still them, because you are part of that. But again, now we're we recognize we don't all come from strong families, let's say. So what does it look like? But we're building our own spiritual families, and that is still your family. So we still have to get back to the concept of familyhood, whatever that looks like. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if I was to give Malcolm X an example, Nation of Islam became his family.
Yeah.
You're going to build a Sense Only podcast family. Does that make sense?
It does.
So we have to be creative. Sankofa is about taking from the past the traditional marriages and understanding the importance of it and why the accountability of it and all of these things. This is the bringing back. But what does that look like today if we don't have big nations of family like we used to, in the same way that it used to look? So it's about taking what works and bringing that forward because our culture is our solution. That's the long story short. Culture is our solution.
Totally agree.
So with Sankofa Rising, I'm just a small but sturdy voice in that conversation of culture being the solution.
Right.
So the parenting program, I'm going to be very clear. I'm not talking to just any somebody. I'm talking to Black African Caribbean people who want to parent intentionally, who want to have an African-centered perspective on parenting. What does our culture say about parenting? What does it look like? Why is it important for us to know our children's peer groups? Why is it important for us to be part of the socializing of that and getting to know our children's friendships, and how do we support transitions of growth with our children? Does parenting end when they start secondary school? Absolutely not. No. Does parenting end when they turn 16? No, absolutely not. So do you understand? Rites of passage program, people be like, we do need a rites of passage, and people think what I'm saying is a rites of passage. I'm always struggling to call it that because I know a proper rites of passage program is serious business. You dedicate your life to bringing young people through a process, if you get what I mean. And that is your full engagement. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But we have to, again, be creative. So and a rites of passage program is never a one-person thing. But I've created a rites of passage of sorts in relation to parent and child, parent and children, community children, because there is a disconnect.
100%.
And there's a disempowerment of how we engage with our young people, our children, and the children in our children's world. So there's the sister circle, the parenting program, the girls program, and then the events. I started the events to build on that intergenerational energy. So with my daughter and her peers, they started an organization called the Omodra Projects. And essentially it's an intergenerational space, but obviously from young people's perspective. So they bring in all the young people, and then they ask us and all the elders in their world to come in and support it. So, but just being around them has exposed me to other young people that I want to do more work with. But the aim and objective with the events is the intergenerational, but it's about, I feel like our generation, you see, like we was talking about being Lovers Rock babies, our generation need to be having a conversation.
With the Lovers Rock generation or amongst ourselves?
Both.
100% agree. That could take me down a whole... That's a whole... You know,
we got about 20 episodes in us.
Literally.
We got about 20 episodes. We got one about man and woman. We got parent... Listen, we got a holy bird.
Me and my cousins, we talk about this all the time. We're like, them like who were born in the 60s.
Rasta.
All right.
Rasta.
All right, you
all right. And they did good work. Some of them they did good work, but there's some of them.
We do, as you said, we all need to sit down and have some serious power. We have to have some serious conversations with them.
And why understanding our historical journey and understanding white supremacy and all these things is important is because I'm always trying to be as balanced as possible in the reasoning holistically. So I recognize those born in that era, they're quote unquote Windrush generation children.
Yeah.
And that that in and of itself, and barrel children as well. So they're Windrush generation children. And again, some people, I understand why people might take issue with the word Windrush, because it's not, our elders are not a boat, and they are not just Windrush, if that makes sense. They came from colonial countries. But the point I'm making is that generation and their children have their own journey.
Yes.
And their own trauma of coming to this country, either having children here or sending for children here, the time spans of all of that. You know, people left children, baby, send for picnic, their child is a teenager, don't know, who's this woman, who's this man?
Yeah.
Or come in here, it's a whole new family.
Yeah. Yeah, and everything that comes from that.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Then having to deal with Babylon. My family, a good portion of them grew up in Ladbroke Grove, yeah?
Okay.
I had to join a Pan-African organisation before I found out about the Notting Hill riots. Excuse me, what?
What? And you living local? Oh my goodness.
Not your one story.
Wow.
Not your one story. So this shows the mentalities around how we engage with our blackness.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Right.
The different varying degrees of it. And I used to go youth club as well. Not for the youth club, man. They never really taught us, but at the same time they would support young people. I remember, why again I say our generation have to have a conversation. I'm not saying our generation ain't doing anything, yeah, but I feel like the 60s generation was very proactive in relation to doing things in the community.
They were.
They just would just do things.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
They were a lot more connected.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And yeah, even if we're gonna say, oh, but they're just putting on a dance all day up. But they said, let the young people party now and put on an all day up.
Well, I think they're off the back of, as you say, lack of a better word, the Windrush generation, because one of the things I always like celebrate when I appeared on Stacey Speaks podcast, and I was talking about when they came over in community packs, because I said that's one of the blessings why I know so much of my family, because my nan and granddad, both sets of my grandparents came over. Their siblings came over, nice. Their cousins came over, people from their district came over. They were all together, and they stayed together, and they stayed communicating. They reach each other's yard, all them things, to the point where there's the men, so my granddad and his people, they collectively bought together, bought this big house on Mosley Road in Birmingham. Shout out to it was a big, and they pulled together, and that was the place where it was kind of like their community club type of thing that they bought themselves. So they all invested. They'd go there all the time. They go and play their dominoes. They go and reason as men. Escape their wives.
Of course, man and woman have them time.
This is it. But the thing is, it was respectful enough and safe enough though, because me as the granddaughter, I rolled with my granddad to number 21. Me and granddad rolled. So I'm there with all the big man them doing their manly stuff at the safe. I was safe, fine, but also learning from men. Yeah. So I was able to see my granddad interacting with all his people in the freedom without my nan. And it was always respectful, and I see how that has very much added to me,
100%.
Community.
Yes.
So because they honed in on community and cultivated community, I say that to say that rubbed off on their children. So their children, it phased out a little bit with them lot, but it still was very much a whole, you still go and reason with your cousin. You still got, and because the families were so big back then, you got bag of brothers and sisters, and you most part got on as well. So if you got older brothers, older sisters, you roll with them and their people. And as you just rightly said, they put on a dance and and youth club. And culturally, we all took care of each other, took responsibility for each other and each other's children, etc. And each other's granny, because you got some people who go and check for somebody else's granny.
This is
and
it.
wherever,
This
and
is
auntie
it.
and blah blah blah. And we know Sundays I don't know how it was. I know it wasn't so deep down here in London, but where I'm from, we know where everybody is. Sunday afternoon, circa 4:00. Somebody's at some table together as family eating dinner. So you're either going to be at your own family's house eating your dinner with some your grandparents or whoever telling you about yourself, but nonetheless we're all communing as family. It was beautiful because you're still tapped into your family, and if you're not at your own family's house, you know you can reach somebody else's family's house and you're going to get welcome to come sit down, break bread, literally.
So why I say our generation needs to have a conversation, because our generation now specifically, we are 1 foot in and 1 foot out of two different dimensions, let's say.
Yeah.
What you're saying, I always say Birmingham is what London used to be. That Birmingham still holds on to longer than we had. Does that make sense?
Longer, but it's fading.
It's faded, yeah, I know.
With our generation.
Yeah.
So,
and
dwindling.
do you understand? And I recognise, again, I have to keep putting this disclaimer. I know Babylon is fighting us, the work day will change, school change, environment, everything, blah, blah, blah. But our generation, we have to be accountable for the fact that everything you said, I grew up with that.
Yeah.
In the 80s, in the early 90s, this was normal. This was normal. I was the only child for ages, but I had a whole heap of first cousins. I don't know what it is to not eat Sunday dinner by myself for a period of time.
It's good that you said that so people know it's not only me, because that's one thing that everybody on this who watches this podcast knows. I stay talking about the fact that I'm related to 1 billion people, literally. Standard. Like if somebody says something to me about a cousin, I have to say which one.
Now I'm on the other spectrum. I've got a lot of cousins, but I speak to the dysfunctionals.
Okay.
So my family, wildly big.
Okay. Yeah.
But because there's so much fracture upon fracture, just the family's just chip. So I don't have it like that anymore. But again, in terms of building and spiritual families, and the family that you have with your children's other side of their family, and how you come together. But I'm saying that I grew up with that. It was normal. So when I'm creating it in whatever space I'm in, with my chosen families or the families that I integrate into, if it's, like I said, a child's family, or when I say a child, one of my children's partner's family, so forth, it's second nature, is the point I'm making, because this is normal. It's what I grew up with. This is what we're meant to be replicating.
Right.
And like you're saying, with our elders and what you've grown up with, they're just doing this naturally. It's not a case of they got off the boat or they got off the plane and said, right, we need to put a strategy plan together. How are we going to... No, this is what we're doing back home.
Standard for them. Yep.
And they're going to... That's why I say with my nan, you couldn't tell her nothing about Dominica, but if I said to her, so who taught you that, Granny? Well, my mother, and who taught her? And my mother, and who taught her? Do you understand? It's always going to go back to the source.
Yes.
Because this is who we are in our nature.
Yeah.
This is our actual nature. I was going to go down another road, because when we're talking about nature and we're in somebody else's environment, in somebody else's culture, we have to start paying attention to the nature, the beast that we're dealing with. Do you understand? So when we're seeing, okay, this is our nature, but we're behaving in this way.
Right.
Where's this come from?
Yeah, it's a different program that's running.
What I was saying though, with our generation in particular, we experience these things. And what the issue is, but we've also experienced the internet.
Yeah.
We experienced, we're the generation that talk about crepes and grime, born with, do you understand? And garage and all that. So there's levels and road.
Yep.
You get me? And road. Let's keep it 1,000. So I'm saying that there's our generation, we're a very interesting bunch in relation to how we communicate, how honest we are in our communication, because we're so dishonest. And that responsibility of continuing what we received. So it's one thing for us to say, I'm not raising my children how my parents did, or my grandparents did, or my parents weren't really raising me. Because like I said, we're lovers rock generation, so we know. So some of us,
Same.
But the point I'm making is we've got all of these disclaimers, We've got all of these different things, and we're going to say, oh, I'm not carrying on the same trauma and gender. We've got all of the slogans and all. But what are we putting in place?
Because I'm just going to circle back to when you just said we're dishonest. What would you say we're dishonest about?
We're emotionally dishonest. We're not honest with ourselves and our journey as a generation. And I say that because, let's say, like I said, road. A lot of us will talk like to say, oh, these young people on road, and what's wrong with them? And they're just gone wild with it. Yes, it's gone wild. But we grew up with road. Enough of us, our baby fathers was on road. Let's keep it 100. They was either on road or road adjacent. Where was you? None of us as sisters, our baby fathers were on road or road adjacent. Where he didn't find you with your A-star student self in church in a one room. You was a road or road adjacent as well. I don't understand. When I speak to our generation, I talk about raving or dayers, enough things. I'm like, the ends. Oh, but we don't want to talk about all the gritty stuff in the ends, no. But when it's the young people wilding out, we're like, oh my God.
You can find balance, man. There's a lot of wisdom and knowledge on the road.
But the point I'm making is, word, yeah. Because still today I say, Rasta, you got to charge it to the game, Rasta. Certain things you got to just charge to the game. But I'm saying all that to say, we don't talk with that honesty.
Yeah.
When we're talking to our young people, we can't be like, yeah, but the thing gone mad. It's road. Of course the thing, why did you leave it with checks and balances? What are you saying? It's road.
But they end up on the road, like, in terms of showing a bit of grace as well. Like, it depends if you want to go to macro or micro. Example, one thing that we had back in our day. What have I got to say? Youth centres. So as much as people could be cussing that people are on the road, the place that took them away from the road and had them as a place outside of the house, which was a safe environment, still productive and still community based and still just social, can go and learn, etc., has actually been taken away. By whom? Government level has taken away all of the youth centres, which were actually very useful. So it depends what road you want to go down in terms of that and why people are on the road. Actually, they've got no choice. Some don't have a choice, but
absolutely
on the road, they need somewhere to go, you know.
Children are not meant to be idle.
No, and who wants to be locked up in the yard?
Big people, we don't want to be idle.
This is it, and you're going to be cussing them if they're sitting on a computer game all day and you want them to go outside. Outside to where, for what? So therefore, if they're on the road, they just need to be outside in polluted air of London or wherever. Because it's not even like you live near a field and they can go and ramble somewhere. Have you set up that environment for them? So this is why I'm not completely going to cuss and be anti-road, because I'm like, how did they get there?
How did they get there? But my thing is as well, why I'm saying that for us, we're going to say we understand. Some of us, especially the man them, they might be like, boy, you get it. But then what are we doing to prevent road?
This is it.
So when with the youth club thing, of course we know Babylon have their agenda, because if we're closing up the youth club, but the phone and the console them turn up, nothing is by accident, people.
Absolutely.
But the question is again, when our elders came here and they went through the whole subordinate education and the way the system was, them same Lovers Rock children, how the system was abusing their children, education, whatever, what did they manifest? Supplementary schools, foundation schools.
Yes.
Do you understand? I always say, Akala. Big up Akala, of course. But I mean, Akala always leads with the fact that I went to a Pan-African Saturday school. Wow. I sat at the feet of elders. So if you're so Akala, every Saturday school in London should have a waiting list.
I was going to say it should be RAM. Yeah.
But they're not.
Yeah. And at the same time, though, do people know about them?
I think some of us know about them, but like a lot of things, if it's not, it's a Saturday school as well. So now we're in a mindset of my Saturday I'm giving up, or my Saturday I got into. Do you understand? Now everything is about convenience. So even if we know about them, it's value. Do we value it? Because some of us do say, oh well, my son goes to football on Saturday or basketball, this, everything else, but we don't understand the value of a good Saturday school, because a Saturday school is more than just a bump up of your subjects. It's a whole ecosystem in and of itself. The children that I socialize my daughter with from 13 to present day are children that she met either at Saturday school or within the community and different cultural institutions. Do you get what I'm saying?
I love that.
And and it's the cultural institutions and a semblance of how she's being raised is being reinforced in these other children's homes. So there's a oneness. Does that make sense? So it's a case of, we have to, why I say culture is the solution is that everything that comes out of us is our culture, when it's there as a solution, as something that we're providing to solve a problem. These are the solutions. Our elders said we need our own schools. So they created supplementary schools, a solution. The youth club, when we're talking about festivals, I lived in Lisson Green, we used to have festivals in Lisson Green. I know there's festivals. I'm a West London, North West London, B&B. So we used to have festivals in Lisson Green, festivals in Mozart, festivals in Bridge. Do you understand? They came out of the youth club, and those people that was, I would even say maybe late 20s up until us, they was giving their time. They was putting their money in their pocket. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying, what can we put on for the youth them? What different things can we do for the youth them to engage them? Now, if it's not coming out of government funding, we're like, boy, and what's the government doing? That's what our generation is saying. Right. What is the government doing? And I'm not saying that I'm not taking away from ones that's not doing the works, because there is some of us that are doing that work. But if we're not realizing it's a collective thing, everybody has to do something.
100%.
And doing something is not, I'm not asking everyone to create a whole organization, but everyone has to do something. Everyone has a skill. Everyone, even if your skill is to be present and help pack up chairs. Right. If your skill is just to share on your social media, if your skill is to create a flyer, if your skill is to help with the sound, if your skill is to fry some fritters, everyone has a part to play and to contribute. 100%. So when you're talking about your elders who put money together for that building, how many people played a part in making sure that building manifested? Then how many people played a part in the maintenance of that building?
It was a good collective. Yeah, and it weren't even an issue. Whereas you think if someone tried to do that right now, you'd be like, that person might take my money and blah, blah, blah. They'll put their money together and bought a house. And that was in the 60s?
And then circle back to, I was talking about the sister circle. Yeah. Because everyone's there with an intention. Yeah. This is for us. This is our thing. Yeah. Those are my dominoes. This is our domino thing. I don't want to mash up our things. Yeah. So we all have to have responsibility for the thing.
100%. I totally hear you in terms of just everybody pulling together. And you know what? Let me just take a moment to just say thank you. Welcome. Seriously, no, thank you for all the work that you do, because it's, as you've just highlighted, it's so needed, and that's something that's played a part in my mind and been of concern for me, because I'm like, should the Most High bless me with more children? For anybody who's already watched the podcast knows my story. If not, the first episode, you can hear all about it. I've always had it in my mind that I'm like, yeah, I could raise my child/children a certain way, but who they're going to socialise with. Because when you look outside and you see some of the wild that's out there and the behaviours that are out there in terms of how people are doing what they're doing, I even more see such a value in what you're doing in terms of, as you say, supporting people with a certain framework for parenting, and then the children to receive certain style of parenting. And then, as you say, in terms of then nurturing everything else with sister circles, etc. So I say it's so needed, and thank you for doing that, and thank you for being brave and seeing the call and actually taking action and stepping up and doing it. Because the one thing I expressed to you, as I said before the camera started rolling, I don't have time for people to just chat. I don't. Take action. Do something. because we can reason from now to whenever, and reasoning for what can we take action and do something, because as you said, there's work to be done, and there's enough of us to do something, anything, as you said, down to make a fritter. You see, I have this podcast right here. Come send me a fritter. Contribute to the cause.
and with the parenting program specifically, because parenting, I feel for me is, we've been in a parenting crisis for God knows how long. Mm-hmm. But parenting for me, like we call Africa the motherland.
We do.
I feel like, and like people who are one with nature, let's say, I want to be one with nature, but I realize I've been raised in this concrete jungle, but I'm, every day I work on it. But the point I'm making is, nature is still your guide in terms of education. And why parenting is such a thing for me is because, like, again, our generation, 99% of the time, any I don't want to use the word excuse, but let's just say excuse for lack of a better term.
It's an excuse. I'll say, if you don't want to say it, people full of chat and excuses.
You say it.
I said it. No more excuses.
But when we say it, a lot of the time it's going to be pinpointed back to how we was raised. Mm-hmm. Something in our upbringing impacts us in our lives, especially if we're not aware of it, and then we're using 99% of the time the rest of our adulthood to heal up from it. Yeah? And that happens when we are operating outside of our culture. Because again, same like I said, we had sister circles. The sister circles is there to support you as a sister, but we had Kindezi. There's a book called Kindezi, and it's called The Art of Babysitting, for lack of a better term. But it's called that because it's talking about the art of parenting, but communal parenting as well, and the different levels that the community and the family hold in relation to raising a one person, and how that is let's say a black print of how communities run in relation to raising children.
I like that.
Does that make sense?
Black print. I like it. I caught it.
Do you understand? But how we raise our children, and that it's a collective effort. Obviously we say, oh, it takes a village. But what does that actually look like? And when we're saying it takes a village, because like people will say, I don't say parenting is just for people who have physically brought life. Everybody has a parenting role.
And I can definitely add to that, because I am a child of a person. I have been raised by a village. I remember when I was about 12 or so, and I got cussed for something. I don't know. I did something, and I remember actually saying loud out my mouth, I feel like I got 6 parents. Literally, because I'm a mum, I'm a dad, I'm a nana, I'm a granddad, I'm an Aunt Anne, I'm an Uncle Mike, and the bonus one is my stepmom, my dad's new wife Wendy, as an additional. Now for me, I got to a point where I just didn't bother being rude, because I'm going to have to deal with the mouth of way too many people. So I just chose to be well behaved. My point is, as the contribution that all them people made to me, like it was, when I was growing up, as much as I had my parents as in them too, my school was around the corner from Nan and Granddad's house. So therefore, after school, I'm going to Nan and Granddad's house. So the extra people who were there would be my auntie and my uncle, and then my cousins, because we were going to Nan and Granddad's house. The only thing we did was sleep in our own houses. We was always in Nan and Granddad's house. So I'm not just saying, oh, I felt like I was raised by all these people. Literally. I was raised by all these people. I've seen these people on a daily basis, literally. Like I can say that my granddad taught me how to do my tie for school. I could say I was on a regular basis in the kitchen with my nan, just cooking and doing whatever regular. I could say the person who specifically taught me that when you step in the yard, do not be walking around the yard with outdoor shoes in the house. Step out of your shoes at the front door was my... Like, I can tell you who contributed what to how I live right now as a person.
That's how it's supposed to be.
These people raised me, you know?
This concept of the people who give birth to children, man and a woman, they're not meant to be doing it by themselves.
Right.
Children, raising a whole human.
A whole human.
Is not light work.
Not at all.
There's no indigenous people, I'm going to go as far as to say, because like I said, it's a culture business we are dealing with. Yeah? And we know the culture that we exist in. Yeah? If we're going to look at even their little stories. What's his name? Oliver Twist. That's meant to be based on real situation. They was really pushing their pitney up a chimney.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Right.
When grandma dead, they was really dashing grandma outside and stuffing her in the subway. This is real life. Do look at Horrid Henry.
Didn't know that part. Okay.
Do look at Horrid Henry.
My gosh.
Not Horrid Henry. Was it Horrid Histories? That's it. You look at Horrid Histories research. Yeah, when the children are learning horrid histories on BBC Bite Size. Yeah, do look at Horrid History. This is real European history. Okay, we see how they deal with old people. We see how they deal with children. This is not in our culture. This is not who we be.
Wow.
Yes, parent to children are a blessing in our culture, a literal blessing. No matter how they got here, we give thanks and praises for life. Sure. This is a normal thing. Everything that makes us separate or disconnected from these ways of being, the explanation for that is called the ma'afa. It's called enslavement. It's called white supremacy. Do you understand? It's called oppression. And what are all the symptoms of that? Called present day. The symptoms are everything negative you see that we are dealing with today. These are the symptoms. But what is the solutions? We have to do our healing work. We have to be accountable. We have to be reflective. We have to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, okay, what is it am I trying to get back to? What do we need to do to restore ourselves? So when we keep saying, and again, our generation is good for that, you know, back in the day, and when it was coming up, so how are we gonna restore some of that energy? Because that's an energy thing as well.
100%.
And people put in the time. And this is the thing, we see it as everything that you said, when we talk about it now, we see it as if we're doing somebody a favor. To be in community is not, you're doing yourself a favor. Yeah. It's for your own good mental health.
Absolutely.
It's not normal for, depression, I always say, is a byproduct of being black in this year Jaja word, in the way of how we've existed since our encounter, since the enslavement of African people. With depression is normal.
It never existed prior to these environments. You'd never hear, like, when you think of back at your country as well as my country, depression, who? And what's that even a word?
Who gets time to be in their house all by themselves for days and hours in the dark? How is that possible?
Never.
Someone's always looking for you. 100%. Someone's always checking on you. Someone's always going to make sure. In our culture, we probably still struggling for the words now. We didn't have orphanage. We didn't have jail. We didn't have homelessness. What are these things?
Yeah.
Homelessness? Orphan?
No.
I want them that. Jail? And why when with something like jail, people are like, well, they were still criminals. Yes, it's called community justice. We're not going to deal with the deviant behavior in ya. There's going to be consequences and repercussions. Because we are raising a society, a community, a nation. And
we acknowledge that we're all interconnected. We're all connected. There was not you.
I'm doing my thing.
It's us, it's we, all day, every day.
This culture is an individualistic culture.
Yeah, and that's not natural to us.
It's not natural to us.
No.
The capitalist, individualist, white supremacist way of thinking, because some of us, but I'm black, I'm not white supremacist. That's not how white supremacy works. But that way of thinking is individualistic.
Yeah.
And it's cancerous to African culture.
Yeah, we as you said, we just look around now and just see how that's something we didn't need to adopt. What's our detriment now.
What's happening is they have stripped us of ourselves and repackaged it and sold it back to us. Now they're selling back to us our lands. Well, not selling it to us, to be honest, because they're going back home to our houses and living their best lives and telling us to stay here and they suffer. Do you understand? But I mean, let's say we're talking about Ito. Rasta man been talking about Ito a long time. The way we eat back home, now we might be saying it's problematic with certain things that we're using in certain foods, but how we eat back home, we say our food is our medicine.
Yes.
And we say grow up, our grandma knew what leaf and what leaf.
Standard. It's like the fact that when we was growing up, a wash out every now and then, standard, to clean out your system and colon cleanse and blah, blah, blah. Now we're just going to give you some bitters. Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear have the bitters.
Normal.
Literally.
Now we're like, oh, and we're struggling. But we had a grandma in our kitchen that was just doing it normal.
I remember my number in this with my eye. She'd be checking my iron levels, all sorts of standards.
All kind of business you went through. You had all kind of spiritual herbal bar. You didn't know what was going on. Once I told me I was going on in your house, you didn't know. This was normal behavior.
Yeah.
Now it's been, what was the other thing? Like, and we must do more breastfeeding or just all these kind of ways, and it's like, this is normal to
so
us.
Standards, yeah.
And we're now acting like to say we're being introduced to something normal, new.
Brand new.
And then now we're saying, now we've been overly consumed by social media. Now we need a break from the internet. We need real life connection. And we're starving for real life connection. Really? Word. But our generation, we know that.
Yeah, we're still tapped in, and we still can identify the foolishness or as you say, the repackaging of stuff. Literally, not.
But some of us, I'm saying, so we know that.
Yeah.
But there's some of us that we know that, but we're outside to say, it's out of our control.
Or just buy into the nonsense narratives. There's one that just irks me. I'm not going to touch on it, but we're not going to hold it. Is the whole sunscreen. That's what I'm saying. I'm just the sunscreen. However, I'm going to get Mr. Leon Marshall is coming on this podcast.
Nice.
And he's going to come and educate the people or remind us
about melanin.
Leon, I'm calling you because you still need to sort your date out, my friend. But Leon's going to come on here and tell the people them, because if we think back to home, wherever your home is, Caribbean, South America, the motherland itself, grandparents and before, try and have a conversation about sunscreen, please. Okay, that's what I'm saying on this. Tune back in for when Leon comes on, as we were saying. I'm not even going to go there.
That's what I'm saying. But
melanin.
Even that though, we're living in a time, our generation now, because some of the pushback from that might be, because I've had some of these conversations, they'll be like, why environment, mindset and energy and environment is so important, because look at the cases of eczema that we have now. There's certain things that we have now that are not natural phenomenons, and we're acting like to say, it was always there, it just wasn't diagnosed. No, my friend, it was not there.
It wasn't there.
It was just not there.
Right.
And a lot of us are just not being honest and say it wasn't there. Yeah. It's not nothing to do with misdiagnosis. I was there and it wasn't present. Do you get it?
Yeah. There
is something we are not, again, when we're raising our children, not everyone can be a rapper and a footballer. We need some researchers.
100%.
We need some people in the medical field. We need some environmentalists. We need people to do the studies, to answer the questions as what is going on.
100%.
Why are we having this increase of skin issue? Why are we having this increase of SEN in regards to ADHD? Or what is going on? Do you understand? And I'm not saying it as, if you have a child who has autism or ADHD, that's a negative. No, what I'm saying is the extent of it. There is something.
Well, even with the dementia as well.
Dementia.
And that's another topic for other days.
This is new phenomenon.
Yeah.
How of us grew up? If we're going to talk about grandparents, we're generation, we're going to talk about growing up with our grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. What's going on?
What's going on?
And again, in the same piece of 2026, the same epidemic that's meeting us here in this country when we're talking about dementia, it's not doing it back home in that way.
It's touching, but it's not as prominent. Yeah.
And if it's touching us the way it's touching us here in the West, with all of our supposed advancements, I'm not saying it's not back home, but if it's not back, the same skin conditions, we're still back home, still getting old, and we're still having babies.
Yeah.
Why is it not?
This is it. People don't want to talk about the environment because this environment's held up as so supreme. As we said, the PR for the West is great. It's not real. It's not honest, but it's great.
and this is the reality. Dr. Francis Cresswellson says, if you don't understand white supremacy, everything you think you know will fool you and mess you up, because what you think you know, you don't know. And in this time, unfortunate for what's happening, but the Gaza situation has helped me to explain to our people how you've been able to see, media and manipulation and the narrative and da-da-da. This is what's been done to us till this hour, this second, this minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, when people are saying it to me, especially certain spaces I'm at working or whatever, I'm like, welcome to being black.
Yeah.
But for us, it's a case of, imagine what you're starting to uncover and realize, oh my God, there's a narrative here. Or that I-Speed brother who's done that tour in Africa. He was in Europe and now he's on a tour in Africa, and all these African Americans and people, oh my God, Africa, I couldn't believe it, oh my Lord. 2026, big Google.
I cannot.
Big TV, but this is what I'm saying. Have an understanding now of, wow, what I actually thought I knew, I know nothing.
Right. Do
you understand? Knowledge of self is your answer to all things.
Yes. I heard there was a guy who there's these guys on the internet and they were interviewing different multi-wealthy people, and they said they always ask, what book are you reading now to share with the people? And the guy answered, I'm reading the book of me. I said, drop the mic. He says, the greatest book I can read is the book of me. Say less, bro. Literally.
Knowledge of self.
There you go.
And it's two things. It's simultaneous. Knowledge of self is knowledge of your actual, where did you come from? If you are looking in the mirror and you are seeing a melanated person, you are from what we call the continent of Africa. But via whatever place you're from. Because that's the other thing. As time's been going on and, we're proper in our island talk or our country talk, but let's say for islands, Caribbean specifically. And I'm not going to go into the whole carnival drama. But when we having this conversation of, I'm going to say carnival, the new agenda for what the white people put into our carnival now is Afro beats playing on the mass band road and all that. I don't know if you read.
I did not hear that. However, I'm due to interview the CEO, so I need to tap into him.
Interesting. But I say that to say, and so obviously some of us are feeding into that, but I'm saying, I've been thinking about it, and I had a wonderful trip in Antigua last year. And I was saying to the Kingman, because he's deep in he's in the spirit of carnival, but ancestrally. But we was having a conversation over the last few months about, I've been saying, if I direct people more into, dig deep into your bag of whichever country you're from. Dig deep into that, whether it's Dominica, St. Lucia, dig deep into that. Because if you are sincere about wanting to celebrate carnival traditionally, and you dig deep into the bag of that, it's still going to take you back to Africa. How about that? Do you understand? And it's going to make you not just take you back to Africa, but in that journey, there's a sister on Instagram, Know Your Caribbean. She is, I think she's from St. Lucia, but she is, immersed in the history of Caribbean. And she'll always show you the African roots, but she is showing us the richness of the Caribbean with its immersion of and its African foundation and immersion of the different cultures. Does that make sense?
It does.
But it's rooted, it's grounded. All of the culture that we've spoken about, it still exists when we go back and we look at our wherever island we're from, and we look at the foundation of our island and what our ancestors left there and what we built on over the decades of us being in that island. It exists still. If I challenge everyone, if we just did that, we'd be closer to ourselves. So the journey of knowing of self is that cultural journey, but the other journey of knowledge of self is knowing ourselves, like knowing who you are. So I am someone, like you said, you could be OCD. Know yourself. Mm-hmm. I can be, what can I be? I can be loud. My mouth can be reckless, like it can be. And I find myself apologizing certain times. I have to really humble up myself and be like, Nehanda, because my mouth can be a little bit wild. But know yourself.
Know yourself, man. And it's like, how do we repackage people actually seeing the value and sexiness of knowing themselves? Because we're getting into an age where I think the key word that we've got at the moment is avoidant.
Absolutely.
The last buzzword was narcissist, and now we've got avoidant. Seems to be it, but either way, they're saying these are the opposites of knowing yourself. So it's the nuances of it, but I'd say if we do it overall, umbrella. It's you got other things going on. So I'm like, how do we and people who want to escape and people who want to subscribe to other standards of beauty rather than their own natural self, how do we encourage, I'm trying to land myself, how do we encourage,
I think I said it,
higher value and worth and self-esteem of who you are in yourself, in your, what am I saying? Opposite to escaping who you are. I see there's just so much denial.
There is.
And back to the buzzword, avoidance.
There is.
How do we let people know there's a beauty in you and the things you do and your people? It's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to be embarrassed of. We should not be trying to assimilate to other. How do we bring that back? Because I think that's what you were saying earlier in terms of the generation before us. They were loud and proud. Even if they were strong and wrong at the same time in certain things, they were loud and proud though.
I can't explain to you the power of culture. And I think that is a big, it's such a big thing that we don't realize. When you hear us talking, a lot of the time, when I listen to certain podcasts or conversations, and sometimes the conversation might be really good, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And the person might be touching on points, but I can hear them, but at the same time, they might be touching on points, but it's kind of just left in the air at the same time, and this, they're loosely talking around something, and then it's not quite getting to the crux of it because culture is the elephant in the room that they don't either not understanding that that's the key of what they're talking about, or the reason as to why this situation is the way it is. And I'm saying that to say our elders, they came here, and wherever they came from, I'm this person. The work that we have is that we're British. We say we're British, and we internalize that and claim it as something. And that's where our value is. Not understanding and seeing it as, I think it's a lack of understanding of culture, because there's a Britishness that we hold on to, not knowing what that is or the fullness of what we're holding on to. And then when we say, oh, wherever else we're from, I'm that too. But there's a dilution of that wherever else I'm from, if that makes sense.
It does.
And there's a lack of even understanding what the value of that other place is and the culture of what that is, if that makes sense. Because I don't subscribe to Britishness. I'm a British citizen, of course, I've got a passport.
But that's it. Raised here.
Do you understand? And I'm saying, so when I'm having these conversations, they're like, you know, and again, back to, like I said, our generation, it's like the comment of when we go back home and people say, and they treat me like I'm English, and they say, what, I'm British, or, do you get what I'm saying? And I'm not, I'm another there and I'm another here, and grounded center. You can still be whoever you are. You can still be, if you're Jamaican, if you're Dominican, if you're Ghanaian, you can be any of these things in Britain. Do you understand? It doesn't take away the fact that if you was born and raised here, you like big chips, or like I said, you listen to garage or soul, or do you understand? The two things can coexist. I like to say it's a negative if we go back home and they see that we're not born and raised there.
The thing is, whenever I go home, people don't treat me in any type of way, though.
I don't think so, but that's what we keep hearing.
So I think certain things, when people say past comments like that, I think it's a resonance thing personally, and it's how you're showing up to the people then. Because personally, I've been going to Jamaica since I was like 3, and I'm a grown ass person now. It's been, you know, a few trips, and I could say I've never felt othered there. I just get nothing but love and respect. And I've been across the island in different districts and different communities, so therefore there's different subcultures going on. And I've never felt like British girl. I've never felt that.
But I'm saying, one, I've never felt that. But if somebody says these things, I was born in England.
Right.
I don't understand. I have an English accent.
It's weird.
I have different cultural norms, let's say. Yeah. So what's the big whoop to do? But it's the fact that we're offended by it.
But I think it's how you reason with the people then, no? Because
I think it's all them things you're saying.
Yeah, because I go and educate, and I tell people then, I'm like, you lot are richer than us. I said, you know the level of strugglation we got going on there.
But in terms of the avoidance, why I say that, it's that avoidance of really looking at this cultural dynamic that we live in and recognizing, okay, like you're saying, a value. What I'm trying to say is, you know, my very winded way of saying it, I'm trying to say, when we accept this is not our cultural hub, this is not the culture that we got here, is still a subculture. What we have created is still a retention of Africa, of the Caribbean, of wherever the Americas, of wherever we come from. It's just that. It's not a Britishness. It's not an Englishness. Do you understand? When we can accept that, then we will understand the value of who we are and what we bring and why it's important. Because culture only maintains itself because people are feeding into it and understand it's a continuum. It's something you're looking at infinitely. Does that make sense? And when you look behind you, it's infinitely behind you. So you're contributing to the maintenance of something. Your journey and development in that. There's a Dinka symbol, and the name has left me at the moment, but the symbol of it is children's teeth. And a part of it, the description in it is about how each person in the community, a child is a blessing because they know that child is going to grow to bring new skills, and that your job as a member of the community is to impart whatever skill you have on the child that's going to come with new skills and build on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'm saying that the depths of our culture, this is just a word in an Adinkra symbol to write it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying that the depths of our culture was only about, the essence of it is about growth and development and building on and expanding and productivity. And do you understand? When we recognize this is who we are, this is our culture, this is actually our culture, this is who we are. To grow, we keep talking about, if we're on social media and I'm growing, I want to be a better person. Your culture does that for you. Looking at yourself, knowledge of self, knowing who you are, that is the value in knowing yourself. You are your value. Does that make sense?
It makes all the sense to me, but I can also see that it might go over some people's heads.
I don't know. I'm trying to say, am I making it?
You're making it make sense. But I'm just thinking about the different mindsets of people, because some people, it's just, I think they're so disconnected from, as you just say, the foundation and the grounding is culture. I think there's a lot of people who are so disconnected from it that
I think in today's words, let me think of a different way. In today's words, we are struggling with emotional maturity.
100%. I cuss about EQ all the time.
If we want to develop emotional maturity, we have to have the courage to be humble and look at our whole selves and how we're showing up in the world. So like I said, if a sister's got issues with other sisters, or if you're a man or a woman in all your relationships, there's with the opposite sex, there's a current theme. There's things that is work for you to look at. Right. If your family is dysfunctional and there's one bagger, that's still something for you to look at. I'm not telling people to disconnect from their families, but you are in charge of how you respond to things, how you show up for things. It always comes back to how you are showing up in whatever situation.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
100%. Or
lack thereof. If you choose to stay in something, maybe the choice is for you to come out.
100%.
Do you understand? So and I'm not advocating, because that's another thing in terms of I'm just on my own spiritual journey and I'm just doing me and and I'm growing by myself. That's not how that works.
No.
You cannot grow in a room by yourself. It's not ganja. Do you understand? It's not skunk. You only grow in the communion of people. Yeah. You can only grow in the act of it. So because listen, life, you don't choose the challenges. You don't be like, I'm going to challenge myself today with this relationship or this situation. No, life says, oh, you didn't learn. Okay, let's wheel and come again.
The wahala gets sent to you.
And it's going to be repackaged in a different way, but the theme is the same.
There you go.
So the point is what are you learning?
Right.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So you have to see value in every time I step into a challenge or how I move through a challenge. I am growing. I am learning. I am developing.
Yeah.
I am becoming my best self. You're not meant to be, your personality and certain things can stay, but you're not meant to be the same person you was 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And the word which I'm so surprised at myself that I'm saying the least in this conversation is your character.
Your character.
What kind of character? Our characters are trash, some of us. Oh my God, it's frightening. And the girl circle was set up because we have to raise our penny with some character.
Uh-huh.
Some of us are raising some real, no thank you, I don't want your child, no thank you.
NPCs.
And it's not their fault because the character of the parents is,
it's very questionable.
Yeah. Some people can recite something to you and you're looking at them like, do you think that's a correct way to behave? Do you think are you all right?
Hence why I said thank you for the work you're doing. It's needed, it's valuable.
So with the parenting program, it's a support system, but it's also about, everything I do is about character.
Yes.
Yeah. And why I say as well, I'm not meant to be doing this work by myself, but also it's not work to be taken lightly. So it's not a case of I'm saying that and, everyone can join in. No, because what's your character saying? Do you understand?
You need to align.
And let me tell you right now, be clear, I'm not, no level of perfection. Contradictions exist normal. But the aim and objective is to always strive. I wake up in my eyes every day. Mama Marimba Ani says, every day she wakes up and she says, I want to be the best African woman I can be. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Start your day with the intention of wanting to be the best you can be. And I say that to say, I'm always going, everything I say for myself, Rasta, because Jaja is going to test me. And Jaja more often than not puts me in the position that I'm talking about. So I can actually have to go through it in real time so I can know how to speak to it. I didn't ask for it. Because some of these tests, Lord of God, but I can say, you know what? There's something for me to learn in that. and I realize I'm being prepared for something else.
100%, because it's now a lived experience, it's now a testimony, it's not theory. So therefore, there's so much more value in it in terms of you imparting it and sharing it with others, or teaching others how you overcame or come through it, etc. And yeah, you don't look like what you've been through.
Well, give thanks and praise, because
there's a power in that, and that's part of what gets me through all the things that I've been through. I've already touched on this podcast,
Rasta,
and I pray that I don't look like half the things I've been through.
Yeah, listen.
Give thanks.
When you said we're the same generation, I said, really? Mm-hmm. Look, I can't spring drinking. I don't see a flicker platinum in there. Because all our holy platinum in there. I
rebuke stress. Anybody or anything tries to bring stress to me, I'm like, you affect my appearance, you need to go.
Listen. Like I said, we must work through things, but don't let nothing mad you.
That's it.
Don't let nothing mad you. Children included. Because, yeah.
Boy! All right, sister, we could be chatting for another how many hours?
I know.
I love this. And thank you so much. And thank you again. And you and your mister, because people don't even know who your mister is. Yeah. This is Mr. Shakaral's Queen, for those who didn't know. He was episode, I don't know the number. It was one of the previous episodes. Go and check that out. But this is why you can see that is a very powerful household. You are amazing.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you for the work you're doing. It's so needed. It's so valuable. I definitely need you to come back. We've got so much more things to chop up.
But I'm thankful for you, sis.
Thank you.
I am humbled. One, I'm humbled that you want to speak to me in general.
Thank you.
Because as much as I'm a yabbering, I'm a bit shy.
So good yabba, man. So good yabba.
But yeah, one, honoured and humbled. But also, yeah, honoured to be able to sit with you and have this reasoning with you in the way that we're having it, and being part of your journey.
Thank you.
And your process in that way. I think, it's definitely inspiring. And you've been, in the little time communicating with you, you've been, wildly supportive already. And that's, again, in terms of spirit and energy. Like, we just be talking like...
I've known you for years.
And that's how it's supposed to be. We family.
That's it, man.
So, yeah, man, I just really appreciate you and the work that you're doing. And long may it continue. And it sounds like, well, the King Man's been here, I'm here, and you say Leon's here, and your uncle, and then you already got stellar guests already.
Powerful.
So I'm looking forward to all the rest of the stellar guests there. You get me? The foundation already set.
All right.
But no, it's been time. So I'm really, really grateful.
Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Sankofa, SANKOFA_rising on Instagram. And you can email me sankofarising1@gmail.com.
Thank you. Once again, another powerful conversation. I'm overwhelmed. My head is spinning, sizzling with all the good things, and just trying to find more answers and solutions. And we're all doing this work. And yeah, like I say, once again, stay blessed.